Hello, and thank you so much for visiting my humble little space once again. I'm honored you have chosen to keep me company once again today. So about 2 weeks ago, I started the autumn presentation on trades and occupations of the Bible. The Bible showcases many ways people made a living. However, my research on this topic always brings me to areas of the Bible, occupations of the Bible that were considered trades and occupations too, but they weren't really pleasing to God. I can think of many right now that were like that, but I believe that these occupations and trades that God did not approve of were necessary. As we read the Bible, we become more knowledgeable on why they were necessary and exposed by God from the get-go, so that we are aware of some of the traps in our current world today, right? The very traps that could become idols if we are not careful, friends. So approved to be shared, one of my dearest friends recently removed herself from areas and practices in her life that one would call not of God. All of the idols and crutches she held onto for so long are now gone. This includes changing her diet to finally reach and maintain what she says is a healthy weight. For me, it's been so beautiful to witness her progress. And in fact, relating to her own eating habits, her bravery propelled me to do the same. So, in my home country of Belize, right, we love our fruits and vegetables. And at the beginning of my new eating journey, I was sure to share with most of my close friends that I have adopted a plant-based diet, just like the one my friend chose to do. Now, I didn't do this for weight loss. I didn't do it for any of that stuff. But what I'm finding out is, although I still eat some seafood, and I've been eating this way, I would say, for more than 5 months now. Honestly, I don't miss the other stuff at all. I find that I'm more energetic, and I really don't have to literally hurt myself at the gym to keep my weight at a number advised by my doctor. When you get my age, there's so many stipulations when you go to get a physical at the doctor. I'd say though that anyone attempting this type of diet, please check with your physician first. And if it's a go, I'd advise you to plan your meals. That's so important because there's so much food temptations out there, so just make sure you plan, eat before you leave the house, that kind of stuff. So right now, as I touch on eating habits, I'll say the one food, though, I miss every now and again is real cheese. Just this morning, I was wanting a teeny piece of cheese so bad and said to myself, I'll just make some for the recipe, this wonderful recipe that I have. It's tarts, and I love them so much. So as I considered what type of cheese to make, there's several that you can use for this recipe. This caused me to start reviewing the importance of the cheesemakers of the Bible. And of course, they were significant. They really were. So cheese is a wonderful delight. Like bread, it is, we know it is apparent in almost every nationality, every spiritual tradition. When I think of cheese in the Bible, though, I go straight to Job 10:10, where it was first mentioned. Of course, guys, this is Job here, and I want to kind of touch a little bit on him, where he said, "Curdle me like cheese," is what he said, right? Now, can you imagine speaking to someone who gets under your skin by saying this? I'll pour you out of my life like milk because you just curdle me like cheese. It's not funny, but that's what Job said. That could be a great line, right? To say to people who just get on your nerves from time to time, just if you need space from these people, just to say that. So specialty cheeses are a rage right now. Every grocery store has a wide display of so many varieties. And when I'm in the mood to splurge, which is, quite seldom, I go for mango ginger Stilton. Friends, this is like dessert. It is so yummy. In fact, I'm in the process of perfecting a recipe to hopefully try to make some soon. Fingers crossed, of course. I'm so busy right now. So in 1 Samuel 17:18 and 2 Samuel 17:29, we see David and his brothers had cheese. Milk was kept in skins as they did wine, because this was one of the most popular form of storage system back in the day. The cheese eaten in the Bible mostly resembled cottage cheese, though, and we see this in Proverbs 27:27, and was far from the fancy kinds we have today, obviously. But I imagine that the people of the Bible eating this type of cheese, they ate it with sweetmeats and honey. And I don't think they did this as frequently as we do today. And I say this because cheese is not mentioned too often in the Old Testament. I believe the reason for this is based on some of the conditions of today, the substandard conditions the people were exposed to during these biblical times. Now, when we move to the New Testament, we see cheese and butter mentioned, I would say, about 20 times. In fact, the Tyropoeon Valley, located in Jerusalem, was actually called the Valley of the Cheesemakers, because it is said that this is where most of the cheesemakers in biblical times resided. They lived in this region. So I try to help you guys when I talk about some of the professions and occupations of the Bible to see how you can use those today. If you'd like to start a cheese making business, I'd suggest you stay very small to create an artisan brand. Cheese is a specialty food, and with all cottage industry food preparation, it is important to take a course from your local exchange on food safety, preparation safety, cleanliness, that kind of stuff. Also, in my home state of Colorado, selling cheese from your home kitchen or commercial kitchen it's really not permitted. For you to be able to do so, a retail food establishment license from the health department must be obtained. And this has to be done before you even start on this venture. I've placed some information on how, if you live in the state of Colorado, I've placed some information on how you will be able to obtain this license from the health department. But if you're eager to get started, my suggestion would be to find a local cheesemaker in your area and work with she or he for maybe a few years, a year or so, to grasp the entire process, the entire concept, I would say, from the best milk to use, as well as the making and aging process of cheese. This practice of internship or even an apprentice could possibly help you in the long run. Of course, that is just a suggestion from me, friends. So, friends, although cheese making could be, again, since it could be a lucrative trade, I'm advising you, before you begin, make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's, please. It's important to keep your future customers safe. All right. So, as for me, I make my own cheese because, it's a hobby of mine. You guys know I have plenty of hobbies. But I also know friends who are cheesemakers, and I love hanging out with them whenever I can. And that's simply because I learn so much in the process and how to do all the stuff. So here's a short video on one of my simple cheese making process, and I have also placed a link to this recipe in the comments below. Thank you guys. I'll be back in a minute. See you soon. Bye. For this recipe, you will need buttermilk, organic whole milk, salt, and lemon juice. And you did it. Your cheese is now ready. Great job, guys. Yay, yay, yay. Friends, again, thank you so much for watching my video. My little but great big heart, appreciate you so much. And as always, I say, be peace, be love, be joy, be kind, and try to be a blessing to everyone you meet, all right? If you're led to subscribe, please do so. But if you're here just to listen and to learn, I am cool with that too. I mean, I only work for God, and that's basically, I'm in service to Him. But for now, on this very snowy day in Colorado, I must say goodbye for now. I'll be here next week as we dive into one of the 2 promises of the Bible I'd like to discuss as a remembrance of how great God is to all of us. Until then, friends, always evoke the wisdom that God loves you more, no matter how you may be feeling right now. He really does. Take care of your friends, take care of yourself, take care of your family. And until I see you next week, goodbye for now. Take care. Bye-bye.